Well, I guess I'm going to show this a little bit of it. I don't know. I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I'm going to upload this, I think. Probably doesn't look good. I do my own videos on a very small phone and all that. But anyway, I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I've put up a lot of videos over the years, and I've been telling about my kidnapping, who I am. I found out in late 83 when I was in a political campaign to replace Congressman Doctor from Atlanta, Georgia, Larry McDonald. I'd written about him in a medical malpractice book, MD: A License to Kill. Well, I was one that was almost killed April Fool Day of 80, and that's not the first time. I thought it was because of the book. And I find out in looking back and finding out about my name, there was who I am and who kidnapped me and who my father is. And the lies, character assassination they did to King Edward VIII, who was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. George O'Keefe is my aunt. My mom was a school teacher. Clean as a whistle, both of them. My father wouldn't follow the Illuminati's orders or take them from him. They took him down with character assassination. Archbishop of Canterbury, and you can Xerox it. Well, that's okay too, I guess, but you can go back and Google Archbishop Cosmos Lang, 1936. He knew my father was married. They all did. Winston Churchill burned the files of my birth in 39, and I'm Victoria II, the day I was born, the legal heir to the British crown. Not Elizabeth. She's a fraud. She's part of the mafia, the Illuminati, way up there. Her and Philip and that whole little brood there. So, Cosmos Lang, Archbishop. I've forgotten who the prime minister was at the time. Winston Churchill. Roosevelt appointed Joe Kennedy ambassador, 36 till they kicked him out in 46. Listen at the dates. The 36 when my father became king, and he was married to my mom, who was queen. So you've got Elizabeth would remember this. When I was kidnapped at age 2 in 41, she knew all about me. She had been around me a lot. She knew who my mother is, that my father never married Wallace Simpson. It was a takedown, and her father is illegal. He sold out his own brother, my father, the king. Then he kidnapped his own niece. Helped kidnap me, helped the Kennedys. JFK, actually, Kennedy's son, Joe Kennedy's son, actually flew in and stayed at the embassy, especially in 1939 when I was born, and he helped in my kidnapping and bringing me to Moulton, Alabama, to a pigsty farm. The abuse was unreal. But that's about all I'm going to say. They're bringing my father's name back up when they show Wallace Simpson, which is a total lie. She married an imposter, and they became the illegal title of Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And this man, there was probably more than one double that pretend to be my father, because they don't mind when you're listening to the media that's controlled by the people that kidnapped me, the Rockefellers. Look at your press in the morning. They've even gotten more bold, CBS and ABC. Not only do they have Rockefeller Plaza on the street, kind of street address, they've got it all over a door here. They've got it over the curved door as you go out. So they're telling you, and recently, a couple of nights ago, they were even showing on Channel 7 here, which is CBS, they were showing restaurants that would not accept fast food, and restaurants that would not accept cash anymore. It's credit card only. Have you ever stopped and thought about that? That's exactly what I got into when I started researching. I found out in 83 after the campaign who I am, and I could remember a lot of it. Uh, I thought the Illuminati is your global government, and they really gained power after they took my father out. Well, nothing but lies. They kidnapped me, his daughter. He paid a heavy price, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. I'm sorry he hurt. I'm sorry my mama hurt. And my mama, yeah, she is my mama, my mother. And I'm sorry my sons hurt, and the British. And most of the British that hurt were the citizens of Great Britain, the military, the intelligence that hurt and paid the price for these traitors that are sitting up there that need prosecuted and handcuffed, and God help what else God could do to them, because they can never repay the pain and suffering. So what have I left out? Winston Churchill, Sir Winston Churchill. You should, if you care about reading, all you have to do is Google and read some books. Winston Churchill burned the files of my birth in 39, my father being married to my mom. If people can do that, you should really be concerned. And the people you think are so nice that own the Post, Catherine Graham, I've already put up what happened to me when I went in there. Philip Graham, her husband, committed suicide. He was on one of the intelligence way back then, satellite, the committee. And that's where you get your well, you got satellites all over the place, but they're your news media. They give you all this information that other people don't get. He committed suicide. That's what you can do with mind control. And I was writing about it. The Tesla files stolen, programming people, like the guy was programmed to kill Alabama Governor George Wallace. They can be proven. Larry Flint, that flew me out there because they shot him. He helped me in the campaign in '83. I could go on. Robin Williams, but then they program people to shoot or use a knife, whatever, to commit murder. It's a murder weapon that's hard to prove. I was writing about that, and when I was led into, I'm not going to say stumbled onto it, I was led into finding about my real name and who I am, and then trying to correct the lies about my father and about me too, really, and what they did to my sons and me. I guess that's all I'm going to say right at the moment, because it really hurts to see my father's name continued to be slandered. My mom deleted, you don't delete Grace Kelly, the American that married Prince Rainier of Monaco. They keep saying nice things about them, and that's okay. It's what you did to my father, me, and my children into Great Britain, into Germany, and some of the European countries. Now then, when you mentioned Meghan Markle and marrying Harry, first of all, I'm not sure Harry is even Diana's son. Supposedly, he's not. Okay, see, he's not a Windsor. His father married, after they divorced, Diana and Charles, married Camilla Parker Bowles. And she had two sons. She was Catholic. They broke all the rules that the monarch wasn't supposed to do. And here it's been okay for them. My father didn't. My father wouldn't follow the orders of the Illuminati, the mafia, and look what they did to him. Me, his daughter, his grandchildren. You think he would have liked to, my father and mother, my father would like to have walked me down the aisle when I was married? So I'm going to go at the moment. And it all has to do with power and jewels and people doting on it. If you ever know what I was telling and what was done, I have to think that the shame that's associated with the cover-up and everything would be enough to get to people, that you have to expose it. And the Illuminati control your media. The United Nations is a front for them. So what else was I going to say? When Meghan Markle, and that comes up, Harry, marrying Harry, the other thing is that they bring up Wallace Simpson, the American spy, who married a double, not my dad, and became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor, hobnobbed all along with the Roosevelts, President Roosevelt's son. His wife, Eleanor, was so much a part of all this, friends with Wallace Simpson, and I could go on. When they bring that up and say King Edward, using a double's picture with Wallace Simpson and saying it's my father, gave up the crown to marry this woman, it's a total lie. You've got the Archbishop in 36, and you can Google some of this yourself. Wikipedia. He knew my father was married to my mom. So I'm going to leave it at that. I can't do much more. I can't get an attorney because I think the attorney would be afraid of getting killed. It's so high profile. They don't want profile. They don't want me back. They don't want the truth told about it. So I'm going to say again, it's been done. It's so horrifying, the crime that's committed. Nobody but God can do it. And I'd like for you all that believe in God, I want to question you. When Elizabeth walks into the church, what do you think God? She's never done anything to correct the wrong. She has kept it status quo. She never meant for me to come back. She bypassed me when the Virginia Tech shooting happened in Blacksburg here, which was mind control. And the young man from South Korea turned around and shot himself, which is mind control. He was programmed to. But she was invited to Richmond, the capital there, and she even passed through here. When I'm living on the Appalachian Trail, starving and had frozen all winter, and you got people there's people here in Moulton, Alabama, Huntsville, Atlanta. They all know the truth, and I don't know how many more out in California, etc. And it's beyond me why it can't be. Somebody doesn't do something about it. So anyway, Elizabeth, do you think God approves of that? What do you think if you ever stand before him that he's going to say to you, and you're going to say you're sorry? You better not tell me you're sorry. I know you're sorry. You're not sorry you did this to me. You're a sorry human being.